good morning, good evening. Okay. Yeah, so welcome back to the session. So in order to make our time most beneficial, most meaningful, for that purpose, then set altruistic motivation on the basis of sincere refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Sanje jodang zoje jonala janju badu dani jazunje daye junzoje be zonamje dola benje sanje robarai jo sanje jodang zoje jonala janju badu dani jazunje daye junzoje be zonamje dola benje sanje robarai jo sanje jodang zoje jonala janju badu dani jazunje daye junzoje be zonamje dola benje sanje robarai jo Semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan rawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi rawa juje semje damje nyere jada nye dan dewe tanyo la nebra juruje semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan rawa Semje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi rawa juje semje damje nyere jada nye dan dewe tanyo la nebra juruje semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan rawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi rawa juje semje damje nyere jada nye dan dewe tanyo la nebra juruje gange doje ne zone dawa damje bambe jire dambe jine tenze ba Godam de la Jaze Lo Dong Yin Yin Je Song Do Ju Ben Lam Ze Je Zen Je Gan Je Den De Gun Chana Ben Mo Den Zen Jia Zo La So Wa De So Da Yue Jin Ye Sai Je Be Je Jung Je Men Do Da Ma Re Ra Ba Le Je Nyen De Jen Ba De San Je Jin Do Mi De Pe Wa Ye Do Ge Nam Da Jin La Je Ba Rai Jo Da je lunga ye zo long je de zong jia zo je ren je men da zang bo gu zang je ba zo je ba le ya la ne la ma ye tam kun jo song la bu tu je wang je jin ye da la jin ye la du da je jia da mo zong je be ye da ye ba zo le da long je na pang ba me ba be ye le yo ne du zo ra zang do wa jin ye lo ye dam gu ru ra na men da kam ne ya da ya Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the topic is Bodhisattva vow. So before we discuss the vows, as mentioned in the first session, that maybe about 3 sessions we discuss about the general teaching, which lead to the importance of taking and practicing Bodhisattva vow. So the last session, I briefly share the teaching on the benefit of the altruism based on the Shantideva's Bodhisattva Avadacharya on the first chapter. And today I thought to go through more textual the teachings on how to develop the bodhicitta on the basis of one of the most important technique, the 7 cause and effect, the lineage derived from our lineage gurus, and of course and that channel all the way from the root guru of all, the lineage of Lamrim and the Lojong Lama Atisha, and that's from from Lama Silingba, then to some of the other Kadamba masters, I would say the Indian great independents, such as Asanga, then Maitreya. So those of you who have attended the other course that we had on wisdom and method, there I have briefly discussed about the 7 cause and effect, but that is more of the instructional kind of teaching. So today I thought maybe we go through more of the textual aspect of the teaching. Yes. So yeah, to someone who really want to practice Bodhisattva vow, then it is crucial for us to know how to develop it. Otherwise there's no meaning in practice of the Bodhisattva vow. So that is the main reason. Yeah. So I thought to base on Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim, the great Lamrim. So first of all, the foundations of all the Dharma, you can say the foundations of all the spirituality, which is compassion, whether it's Buddhist or non-Buddhist. Then, as in the Buddhist tradition, the Hinayana tradition, Mahayana tradition, and Mahayana Sutrayana, Mahayana Tantrayana, the foundation is the great compassion. Compassion. Then, as far as concerned with the Mahayana, Sutrayana, Mahayana, Tantrayana, then that is the foundation is the great compassion. So, in short, compassion is the basis of all the spiritual practices. Any spiritual practices which not infused by compassion, that cannot be spiritual practice. That confidently can say that. The spirituality is to not to mess up humanity or to bring inconvenience at least to the humanity, and in the name of spirituality, instead of causing a condition to eliminate the suffering, rather you add on to the suffering, then definitely it doesn't become spirituality. That is very holy. So we usually hear very clear about this from His Holiness Dalai Lama whenever he have the spiritual dialogue with other religious faiths, and also the respect that His Holiness show to all the other religious practices. It's because of fundamentally the main foundations of the spirituality carry compassion. That's why His Holiness so openly, so confidently, he engaged with the rest of the other religious faith. So I think this is really meaningful. I believe, I guess, yeah, I don't know whether this word is goes together or not. One way I say I believe, then another word I say I guess. Maybe it's contradictory, isn't it? So I better make clear what's my side. So I believe. Okay, so I believe what? In between, I lost what I want to say. Oh yes. So yeah, any spirituality then is not intended to bring happiness to at least to the humanity, then very clear it is you can say cult, or you can say it's just misuse of the name of the religion, so like that. So anyway, so therefore the compassion is it is most important. So now here, in the context of Mahayana teaching, then like what the Chandrakirti says in a commentary on the Middle Way, the compassion alone is regarded as the seed of the conqueror's excellent harvest, as water for its development, and as the maturation in the state of long enjoyment. Therefore, at the beginning, I praise compassion. So then, so that's it. So compassion. The reason why Chandrakirti make even though the commentary on the Middle Way discuss the main theme of the teachings on emptiness. So in the tradition of Nalanda masters, which also in the Tibetan masters, they follow that. Whenever they do any conversation, the offering veneration at the beginning, the paying homage, very much define what kind of theme of teaching that you're going to discuss from the text. So if the teaching, the main theme is on wisdom, emptiness, then rather you make homage to like Manjushri, Yamantaka, like that, very, very clear. But here, Chandrakirti make homage to compassion, which is in fact is a method aspect, or the teaching that very much related to the extensive part, not the profound part. And the reason for that is to really to illustrate, in very outstanding, very, very, very to people, to the learners to find clear distinction, was a clear understanding the importance of compassion. Those who are familiar with the scripture studies, they start to raise question, why like that? Otherwise we just listen and just as if it's very norm and you carry on, but this will trigger you, why like that? So when you ask question, then the reason is it is important as a foundation, as like the seed. It is important as at the middle when you cultivate the path, as like the manure and the water, like that. Then it is also important at the end, the resultant stage, as like the fruition. You see, so whatever practice you practice, whether it's compassion, whether it's tantra, whether it's whatever, without element of compassion, your spiritual goal will not achieve. So that's what Chandrakirti tried to reach the message, cross over to us, like that. So then, also it is very much like the meaning that more illustrated by Lama Tsongkhapa. It says that once you become convinced that compassion is the excellent key to the path through such proof as reason and limitless scriptures, why would you not hold the spiritual enlightenment together with it is root compassion to the supreme instruction? So before Lama Tsongkhapa said that, of course, he quoted the Chandrakirti's teaching. Then, as well as he quoted the compendium of teaching sutra. It says, Bhagavan, Bodhisattva should not learn many teachings. Bhagavan, if Bodhisattva grasps and know one teaching, they will have all of the Buddha's teachings in the palm of their hand. What is this one teaching? It is great compassion. Bhagavan, with great compassion, all the Buddha's teachings are in the Bodhisattva's palm. For example, Bhagavan wherever the precious will of the universal sovereign is, there's also is the assembly of its battalions. Likewise, Bhagavan, wherever the Bodhisattva's great compassion is, there are all the Buddha's teachings. For example, Bhagavan, once there is a life force, all the other sensory faculties will exist. Bhagavan, similarly, once great compassion exists, all the other Bodhisattva's qualities will appear. So it regarded as like a life force. So the moment you lose compassion, then you lose Mayanic path. There's no foundation to develop any, as I mentioned before, any Buddhist spirituality. Then if you lose great compassion, then you lose, there's no foundation for development of any Mayanic spirituality. So you see, so even when you practice emptiness, an example, when even in our ordinary day-to-day life, as a beginner, when we want to focus our learning and practice on emptiness, but if you lose the intention of compassion or the altruism, then that merit that you accumulate from meditating on emptiness cannot become cause of enlightenment. It will still accumulate virtues which carry limitations. It may cause us to actualize nirvana peace, the liberation from six of samsara, but will not create a causes to actualize the perfected enlightenment, which is the benefit of numberless sentient beings, enlightenment, you see. So then even if you are already in the path and the ground, like such as Bodhisattva's ground, so whenever you go into meditative absorption, the initial, the earlier, before the meditative absorption has to be, in the engagement of the compassionate deeds, compassionate, the post-meditation practices, which is the practice of method, the compassion. And the compassion has to be the force the practitioner to, go into meditative equipoise. So then whatever amount of effort that you put in meditative equipoise, every single of them become cause of full enlightenment. Otherwise, it cannot become cause of enlightenment, or it cannot become cause of Mayanic path, you see. So, so like that. So therefore, it's like a life force of the Mayanic Dharma. Then including of the Tantra, how many different form of rituals and tantric meditations out there. And because the visualizations and all the tantric yogas are very exciting, it really can discount any of the other practices. When you are so engrossed into tantric yogas, then there's a danger of forgetting compassion, forgetting because when you practice tantric yoga, you experience the voidness, you also experience the bliss, and very much kind of you don't require any other foundation or supplements of the practices of the common path of the sutra and tantra, such as the compassion, you see. And especially when you perform the four activities, and in particularly the activities like lawful activities, controlling activities, pacifying activities, increasing activities. There's a very, very concentrated, practice in mantra. Then, so engrossed into the act of those activities of the deity that until that you may, lose focus on the generation of compassion, so there's such danger, you see. So therefore, we just have to remember it's like a life force. The moment you lose the compassion, then you lose the life force of sutra and tantra. So it's very much either be the intention to the actions, or either the action has to be the act of compassion, or at least the intention and the dedication, even though the act may be bit rough, like such as when you perform the in particularly lawful actions and pacifying actions of the tantric yoga. The act itself can be quite quite toughness. Is very much like there's no element of compassion. But at least that action has to be infused by the compassionate intention and conclude by compassionate dedication. So that way, and even that action become altruistic action, a cause of enlightenment, like that. So here the compendium teaching of sutra, the Bodhisattva should not learn many teachings. So here it doesn't mean shouldn't study many teachings. The meaning here is every teaching you learn, you consolidate or you summarize into the practice of altruism. So this is what it meaning. Every teaching you learn, certain teaching you take as a preliminary practice, preliminary teaching to the development of altruism. And a certain teaching you learn as a resultant practice of the altruism. Like an example, all the Hinayana teachings, all the teachings of the small scope, middle scope, it doesn't mean you don't learn them. We have to learn them, but we take them as a preliminary teaching, preliminary practice to develop, compassion and develop bodhicitta. Such as the teachings of Tantra, it doesn't mean you don't learn them. You learn them, but as a resultant practice to strengthen the development of altruism, to take further development up to enlightenment. You need the practice of Tantra as they call as a resultant vehicle. So that's what it's talking about. In particularly, Mahayanic practitioner, must learn as vast teaching as possible, as extensive as possible, as complete as possible. All the different yanas, all the different philosophies. The more you are exposed, the better. But we need to carry that the purpose. So that's what it means. So then, when you practice bodhicitta or great compassion, so here you see, I use the word great compassion and sometimes altruism. The altruism is the great compassion, and great compassion is the altruism, but it is just differences because of it is momentary. The differences from the momentary. So even the compassion, great compassion, then bodhicitta, then omniscient mind of the Buddha. So all this carry the same what I call same component. It carry the same. It is from the same branch. Like from the same seed. It's not like not like emptiness and bodhicitta. Those are it is seed is different, it is body is different, and it is result is different. But when it comes to compassion, great compassion, bodhicitta, and enlightened mind, the Buddha's omniscient mind, even though bodhicitta also calls it enlightened mind, but here the omniscient enlightened mind. So they all are altruism, but the ordinary compassion is not fully developed altruism. Great compassion is slightly developed altruism. Then bodhicitta is fully develop altruism, but not fully perfected in the sense, is not yet become omniscient altruism. You see, so due to this reason, whenever we pronounce altruism, compassion has to bring together. Buddha's omniscience also have to bring together. You see, so like that. So someone that who is not familiar with bodhicitta, and you want to introduce skillfully, of this greatest attitude, then you introduce compassion, but then you can still use the term altruism. You can perform altruistic deeds. Then the person may ask, what is that? He said, you can perform deeds of compassion. So understood, because as long as you perform the deeds of compassion, eventually it will accumulate. It is merits to develop the actual great compassion or the actual bodhicitta, including the actual enlightened mind. Okay, so then maybe that is the foundation. So compassion is the foundation in general. Then now, in particularly to develop the 7 causes and effect, in order to develop bodhicitta, that also has, it is a specific, foundation to be trained. So that is beside the compassion, what we have discussed is the immeasurable impartiality. So also, it's stated in the Lamrim, the training, the cultivation of the immeasurable impartiality. Yeah. So it's very much neutralizing our impartial attitude, attachment, grasping to the loved one, aversion to the enemies, and the ignorance to the rest of the sentient being. So as long as we are unable to smoothen that rough, impartial attitude, we won't able to develop all the training on the 7 causes and effect. So so it's very much reasonalizing the all sentient beings carry the same aspiration, only wish for happiness, do not wish even the slightest form of suffering. From that perspective, as someone like yourself that who want to develop enlightened mind, then this impartial attitude definitely have to let go. Even with that one reasoning, there's hundreds of reasoning, but even with that one reasoning, the purpose that you wish to develop altruism and actualize enlightenment is to bring benefit to all sentient beings. You see, but if you really want to achieve that, then if our heart stay in this partial attitude, then no way no one can able to plant the proper seed. That seed cannot grow. You see, so it's very much like an uneven lot of pebbles, in the field. If you want to plant a crop, where won't be able to grow crop, well, isn't it? So it's similar way like that. So development of compassion and development of the immeasurable impartial attitude. So these two, in another word, you can also say immeasurable compassion and immeasurable equanimity or immeasurable impartial attitude. These two has to be learned and meditated and well established in our heart in order for us to really steadily kick off in the actual training on the 7 causes and effect. So now the 7 causes and effect. The first one is cultivating recognition that all beings as your mother. So here, Asanga's level of yogic deeds, it says, I have difficulty seeing a place wherein you have not been born, gone to, or died in the distant past. I have difficulty seeing any person in the distant past who have not been your father, mother, uncle, aunt, sister, master, abbot, guru, or someone like guru. So, yes. So when you start to, get deeper understanding on karmic law, cause and effect, the more deeper analysis that you make on the karmic law, cause and effect, then you start to get more, closure on more subtle level of karmas. To understand the subtlest state of the karma, that only when you carry the omniscient, only Buddha could able to understand that. But we as ordinary, through training of certain level of concentration, that help to clear our what do you call have to clear our dull mind. Then it tends to develop, sharper mind, and in the more you practice, you may able to even develop certain level of clairvoyance. There are so many different stages of clairvoyance. Clairvoyance to understand, just one past life, 2 past lives, 1 past life, 1 future life, many past life, many future life, etc. like that. So then you start to, genuinely convince by your own direct, perceiving of those reality, what Asanga is saying here. There's no place that you have not been reborn, and you don't, you cannot find anyone that that who have not been your parent or someone as your close one, you see, and you can even find that all the rest of the sentient being, they also have played the role of your teacher. Many, they even play the role of your guru, you see. And that is that understanding is very crucial for us to establish a firm conviction of the existence of life and rebirth. Then, if you deepen your meditation to, especially, the practice like shamatha, that again help to clear all the blockage of your mind from conceptual, distractions and hallucinations, delusions, then you start to even have a clearer mind to realize the beginningless lifetime, and beginningless reincarnation of your life. And in those beginningless reincarnation of your life, there are many lives that you have to be born, from a womb. And each time when you're born from the womb, you have to depend on your parents, especially mother. So then you since it's numberless past lifetime, and numberless of your womb birth, then each time, since it's numberless, that even one single being that you can imagine, just being one time of your mother is not good enough, not enough. So each sentient being also has been your mother numberless times. So similar way, each sentient being has been, like your teacher numberless times, like your brother, your sister numberless times. You see, so each time, they have been your mother. They only benefited you. Just given one reason, they have given you life. Especially, we have taken rebirth as a human numberless time. May not be, even just within this existing universe, already numberless times. We uncountable times we have taken rebirth as a human, and then other era of the existing universe, we have taken human rebirth numberless times. You see, so blandly referring to the quotations of what this master said, unless you have 100% conviction in these masters, then you can easily accept this. Otherwise, it's a bit difficult to really to feel it. So in order to develop the realization on 7 causes effect, you need to feel it. You really need to feel from, you need to gain conviction from your inner world, yourself, with convincing that is it. So for that reason, there's a 2 way. One is yourself try to clear your blockage of the mind through meditation, doing a lot of purification practices, a lot of accumulations of merit, like even just in the practice of relating to Guru, praying to Buddha, or just practice of refuge properly, help to cleanse your mind. And then that bring the clarity, and you start to gain more and more clairvoyance, stages of clairvoyance, so that you yourself, without depending on what the master say, you yourself can able to perceive those of your past reincarnations, where they are, who that particular being have been your mother, how they have benefited you, etc. So that's one thing. If that is, that will take lengthy time. We really need to practice very, very intensely and consistently. The other way is you have 100% trust on what Buddha says, 100% trust what Asanga says, and how to trust them. You haven't met them in person. So the way to gain the conviction, full trust to this master, is to study their teaching, is study their biography, their life story and their teaching. So through the wisdom they share with us, through the life biography we learn about them, then you will come to a point that, oh, this person, every single word that I can trust. It is valid, because his word and his action, his life is one, not contradictory. It's harmonized, you see. So otherwise, even though there may be words which be so flowery, which is so wonderful, but then the life biography is upside down, worse than ordinary, then it's difficult, you see. So so therefore, you say share ne tepa topa. Share means first know the teachings and the lives of that master. Then you actualize the faith into this master. And that faith that reliance, that trust, very much going to be irreversible trust, irreversible faith. And that is the faith that the smart students will develop. There's a category of two types of smart: the smart student and the dull student. And the dull student is like whatever you say, okay, like so easy to get trust, so easy to get belief. But then this kind, if you corner them by debate, or corner them by some challenges, or maybe one kind of like roundabout wordings, you're going to lose your way, you're going to lose your faith, you see. But the smart way is how much you corner you, how many presentation of philosophies, bring debate onto you to try to disprove what you believe. You won't be distracted, you see. So I think many of the, like most of the Westerners, not all, but many of the Westerners, especially who practice, I think Dharma, I think all are in the category of smart student. I think so. The Westerners has this habit of, like everything questioning, debate, before you 100% trust. But there are also some Westerners, I think, is more blinded than many of we Himalayans, they just follow anything that comes in their way, then some become this, some become that, then lost their direction completely, because of faith, go into retreat. But when they come out from retreat, instead of become more subdued, they become more lost. They become more confused. Usually when people go into retreat, before going to retreat, you're a bit confused, a bit unstable. Then when you come out from retreat, you are like so physically so calm. Even your face expressions, it looks so glow. Like looks so wonderful. But then when you come out from retreat, you are like everything is like kind of like, you don't need tornado to blow off you. It's just someone pull you together. Then it's like everything like almost like about to fly. So yeah, then like your words and you cannot ground. You become so unstable. So that's why, yes. Anyway. So this is just a joke. So yes, so like that. Like in the monastery, in the great monasteries, most of the philosophers are, even though they wear robes, they become monk. Maybe some I even doubt from their heart they really monk or not. I doubt. The way they debate, the way they caution, the way they become so critical, and they're staying in monastery, and but then like even they caution about refuge and karma, even after you almost finish your Geshe study, some even after finish Geshe, still caution about karma, still caution about Four Noble Truth, still caution about rebirth, so it's like, so sometimes, you doubt, maybe they're just wearing robe. Maybe they are not real monk. They real dedicated their life in the Buddha's path, But actually, you can say they fall into the smart category. They really, go up to hundreds and hundreds of reasons, very much, even one slightest form of doubt may be there, only with clearing that, you accept. So most of the philosophers would do that. So once you build your character in your Buddha's path like that, then even people put gun on your forehead, you will not let go. you will not, let go of your view, your attitude, your vows, and many Tibetan masters have illustrated that, when they were in the jail, captured in Tibet, uh, there are many stories, who have Bodhisattva vow and asked to lose the Bodhisattva vow. They pointed a gun in front of their forehead and they say, I'm ready to, I'm ready to let go of my life, but I cannot let go of the Bodhisattva vow. I'm very happy if you can just go for it, And there are also individuals who carry Sangha vows, in the prison, asked to disrobe. And they say, this is more precious than my own life because of the conviction that they have, you see. So that kind of cornering, you see. So we need to have that kind of conviction, towards these masters. And the way to achieve that is, as I mentioned, either through your own clearing your mind, or another way is, developing full conviction through studying their scriptures. So like that. Yeah. Then Lama Tsongkhapa said, moreover, all beings, because silent existence is beginningless, your birth are also without beginning. Therefore, you have died and been reborn time and time again. There's absolutely no kind of body which you have not assumed in silent existence. There's absolutely no place where you have not been born. And there's no person who has not been relative such as your mother. Moreover, all beings have not only previously been your mothers, but will also be your mothers in the future a limitless number of times. Reflect upon this and become convinced that all beings have been your mothers. Once you develop this conviction, you will then easily remember their kindness and so forth. If you do not develop it, you will have no basis for remembering their kindness. So from the 7 causes and effect, the first point, remembering all sentient beings as your mother, is the most crucial training among all the other, the rest of the training. The first one, recognize all sentient beings as your mother, more crucial, more important than training in the immeasurable compassion nature, immeasurable love, and repaying the kindness, etc. More important than even, the actual bodhichitta, because if you're able to develop that, the rest of the later, it comes in your way very easily, including of the bodhichitta. So there's also instructional teachings, from the lineage masters. They emphasize to their students that as far as concerned with the training of the first point from the 7th point, recognize all sentient beings your mother, you have to meditate as long as it takes. You have to meditate, even it take entire your life. Even you are unable to meditate the rest of the point, but at least you're able to develop the first point, then the rest, just within few moments or within few days, you're able to develop. So that's what the master would say. So exactly here, Lama Tsongkhapa, emphasizing the importance of developing this particular point. So you can just refer to the reasoning that Lama Tsongkhapa is given here, and the Asanga is given here as a reflection points. So then you can just keep reminding that, and make your mind habitual in this thinking. So this is how you familiarize this topic, and eventually you come to a point that you're really able to see all sentient beings as your mother, without any needed meditational effort, without needed reasonings, So I mean, develop until you gain realization means develop until that you arise this, thought spontaneously, and sustainability, spontaneous and sustainable way. Um, then yes, sustainable even in spontaneous and sustainable even in the in the negative environmental circumstances. Then that shows that you have achieved the realization. So we have to train until that. You see, right now we can develop with so much reasoning. So that is not good enough. So now in order to do that, first we have to, train that with our own present life's mother. Like in every situation, you remember your present life's mother as a mother, with all the, with all the reason of her being as your mother, all the time, you see, and you start to see your mother in all the other goodness. Like, let's say when you see your guru, you see your mother in that guru, because the guru is so kind, providing this spiritual blessing, isn't it? And you get so inspired, you get so close to the guru. You hold guru dear in your heart, isn't it? Then that, that is goodness. That is meaningful. You naturally also link your mother in that category. That's how, meaning that you see your mother in your guru, because whatever blessing that you're receiving from your guru, if mother didn't give this body, you won't able to receive any blessing from your guru, isn't it? How precious guru may be there, but mother didn't give you this body, not possible. So that's what I mean, you relate. Then when your father being so kind to you, your heart is so attached, is so touched, if you feel so close to your father naturally than your mother before. Now you try to see mother in your father, through in that relation of, if mother didn't give this body, whatever heart-touching moments that you have with your father is not possible. Then similar goes to your sister, your brother, your friend, your partner. If you love your partner so much that, she or he is the whole world of yours, then you see your mother in your partner. You see, whatever goodness that you can relate to your partner, if your mother didn't give this human rebirth, all those goodness is not possible. So these are very, it's a valid reason. It's not just for just philosophical thinking. It's a valid reason, isn't it? So then, if you get opportunity to, now you hold the Bodhisattva vow. Many of you have Bodhisattva vow. That's the most precious thing happen in your life, isn't it? And that's so dear. Then you recognize your mother in that Bodhisattva vow. The fortune that you have that Bodhisattva vow. Because your mother didn't give this precious human rebirth, how precious Bodhisattva vow is, not possible. Not possible. This present life's mother I'm talking about, it's not possible. You see, if once are born in the animal realm, then there's a Buddha directly in front of the animal, that animal there, so like a cat. Even give a Bodhisattva vow, you won't receive the Bodhisattva vow, there is some blessing, but won't receive, you see. So this present life's mother being your human mother, unbelievable, an exceptional, unbelievable kind, unbelievable precious mother, from that point of view. Then some of you enjoy holidaying, you love nature. The moment you see beautiful flowers, beautiful mountains, beautiful lakes and oceans, you feel so happy. You bring your mother in that nature, in that beauty, in that beauty. If mother didn't give this human perfection senses and the mind, the feeling, if you don't have this basis of human body, how beautiful scenery, how beautiful mountain there, you can't enjoy. You can't enjoy. It's because of mother, you see. So you see mother in that, you see. Then when you wear nice, like ornaments or nice clothes, when you eat nice foods, when you go to sleep in nice beds,
everything. It's like mother is everywhere. You see mother in everything, every good thing you see mother. You see, even in the pain, even in the suffering, when problem comes in your way, you're still living. You still try to find a way to able to solve the problem. You still have this brain, to find a way to overcome this problem. You still can smile. It still can, carry on your day. The day is really nasty, but it's still not giving up. It's because of your mother have given this human body, human life, which carry all these resources, that you will not give up. You see even mother in there, how amazing she is. You see, so this, so as long as there's awareness, you have the awareness of the mother, and that's most amazing one, most beautiful one. So you see, so these are the meditation tools. Our mind have to be educated. If we can't remember so spontaneously like that during the events, then we have to do meditation. We have to take time, at least 5-10 minutes, daily or whenever it's possible, or go for retreat, dedicated time just to meditate on this point. First you develop on the mother like that. You see, then everywhere, like you hear the sound, like mother's sound. It was so beautiful, isn't it? It's so beautiful, like always your mother is like talking to you, I mean, what can be more beautiful than that, isn't it? Is it, maybe dear son, dear daughter, or baby, or whatever, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You see? It's like you are so secured, whether mother is, physically living or not. It doesn't matter, the recognition, really from your side is mother is never separated from you, and more than that, in reality, you actually using her body. What the body that we carry is actually is part of her body. It's not belong to you, isn't it? Is whatever big size that we have is, the seed is from the parent. We think this is ours, and we have this strong grasping, but actually it's really, we are so fragile in one way without parent, without mother, even how much money you have, how strong you already become, how grown up you become. But honestly speaking, everything actually is received from our parents. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We are a bit kind of, how to say, bit selfish, still think it's my body, it's like just mine, it's I, and especially sometimes we can do nasty things, even right in front of our father, mother, it's kind of you and me, this is my body, this is my life, they say, who are you to, kind of like, say this to me, it's actually, if you meditate, if we happen to do that, it's unbelievable. We are completely hallucinalized, completely in the wrong view, even relatively also in the wrong view, We are just carrying the title, the identity, which parent allowed to say, this is your body. You see, so mother have sacrificed up to that, and say, okay, let's be, this is your life, this is your body, So you see, so there's so many reasons, Of course, there are scriptural reasons that you can also use, like whatever we have just now read, but all these are, it's very easy for us to reflect on, and for me, I feel these are even more heart-touching because, I really can relate, you see. So like that. Then of course, just think about her hardship, like keeping us in the 9 months in her womb, and sometimes we say, what's a big deal? What's a big deal? So then, really, literally, I feel like sometimes, like doing a retreat that which really for at least maybe a few days, or at least one weekend, tie 1 kilo of rice on our stomach, never let go, don't shower, or just tie it. Then we, let you do all the post-session chores, making water bottle offering, cleaning the retreat room, then going collect water, etc., especially if in the jungle, go and collect the wood, and do, go and get vegetables, then then at the same time, try to sit down and try to do some meditation, and let you cook, let you wash the dish. Then after that, at the end of the day, then go bed with that rice bag. Then we see how comfortable it is, just for weekend retreat like that. In particular to remember how amazing the mother have been to us. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. For us, we carry a little bit of one, maybe 1 inch extra stomach, we feel freak out. Is it? Oh, my stomach become bigger. We get freak out. We do jogging. We do all the exercise. Mother have no time to say that. And no time to say that. Is unbelievable. And when you look at, especially after many months later, it's unbelievable. Which if we just eat one extra noodle bowl, then the bloated stomach is so painful. It's so tough, so tough. And if we need to go bed with that, it's unbelievable tough, Can you imagine 9 months? And sometimes we drink too much water in the morning. You are high tide and your bloated bladder, and then the stretch, if you if the toilet bathroom is a bit far, then it's a huge trouble, So mother's giving baby in a womb is unimaginable, you're comparing with that, you see. Then when she gave birth to us, unbelievable pain, in the scripture, when you read them, is that itself is terrifying. You see, it's really like kind of tearing it, two body into 2 parts like that, Unbelievable. And she bared that just to give birth to you, you see. Then sometime nowadays we have excuses saying, oh, cesarean, just cut the stomach, It's so easy to cut the stomach. Yesterday I just play with the plant a little bit, and I just got just tiny. I can't even see that. I try to look at where it is, but it's still, so painful, so uncomfortable. You see, and I try to use the nail cutter to grab it. Then here I got a little bit of pluck here. So painful. Now it become all red, and now it's like a bluish and so painful. Cut to take out this much big head, The baby's head and our grown-up head is almost quite same size. I think they're quite the same size, isn't it? So take unbelievable. Can you imagine the recovery? How much you have to go through? Then more than that, when we are come out, mother's joy is so unbelievable, immeasurable, until she just forget everything that she have suffered. She have sacrificed for us. She forget everything and embrace us with so much care, gentleness, love, the word and the tears of joy. And unbelievable. It's just to see that, just to experience just that one moment. We are unable to remember because we are so baby then, even now also most of us is like baby, we still don't remember. Even if we learn Dhamma also, we hardly remember, we are still immature baby, but that time is relatively, it's unbelievable, extremely immature baby, we won't realize it and we won't remember, but that's But when we see other mother do that, we can relate ourselves. And every child has gone through that period, Maybe later part, maybe mother due to sickness, due to her mind some difficulty, she may have abused you, she may, but mother will never intentionally abuse to anybody, any of the child. But due to her karma, due to our karma, due to the collective karma, due to her delusion, influence of the delusion, she may have caused harm to us, that we kind of regard as she have caused harm to us. She never caused harm to us. But if we regard that, but then just that incident I shared just before, that one incident is good enough to differentiate, who she really is like that, you see. So anyway, so these are the thing, the meditation. So we have to spend as much as possible time on that, so that's it, like that. Then so basically it's, your mind is full of her with all this goodness. Then it's like mother, precious mother, when you get opportunity to serve your mother, my late guru, advised that you see your mother as, oneness with your guru, oneness with the Buddha, oneness with the deity, in the form of practice of like guru yoga. When you serve your mother, you accumulate equal merit. You're serving your guru and serving Buddha, serving the deity, Dakatakinis, just serving your mother. So you see, so if we have opportunity to do that, but even those individuals whose parents are not around us physically, but we can still continue to do so by dedicating our life in practice, you see, morality, development of compassion and wisdom, receiving journey towards enlightenment. So all this we are already doing, which is already, wonderful, and she naturally get benefited. But if we intentionally do that, with awareness, it become even more concentrated dedication towards her, you see. so like that. Then once you have accomplished that, then you generate the same kind of attitude to now the other close one. To to your father, brother, sisters, your partners, then all the close ones. Then after that, then you develop to the neutral beings. Then after you develop to the enemies, So that's how that you develop seeing all sentient beings as your mother, like that. Now the second one is cultivating remembrance of their kindness. Which is similar that I mentioned before also. So Lama Tsongkhapa said that imagine your mother clearly in front of you. So when you meditate, think the following a few times. Not only she has been my mother at the present, but she has been so in incalculable numbers of time throughout beginningless cyclic existence. As your mother, she protected you from all harms and provided you all the benefits and happiness. Particularly in this lifetime, she carried you for a long time in her womb. Then when you were helpless, newborn infant, she held you to warmth of her flesh and bounced you on the tips of her 10 fingers. She suckled you at her breast, used her mouth to give you soft food and to remove mucus from your nose, and use her hand to wipe away your excrement. So in various ways, she nurtured you tirelessly. And maybe the last part, remove mucus from her nose, your nose, using her own lips. So in Himalaya do that, but not in the West. So in Himalaya literally do that, and wipe away excrement, by using the her own hand like that, and they literally do that. We all went through our mother treat like that. Even today's time, you can see that in Nepal, India, but maybe not in the West. In whatever way, the affection is the same. You see, affection is the same. So this is how you meditate. So then, so I think, as I mentioned before, but when you relate to her being kind to you, not only this lifetime, but in the past lifetime, I think that I forgot. You also remember that she had been similar, like this lifetime, many lifetimes in the past. Or then after that, you expand to the rest of the others. Moreover, when you were hungry and thirsty, she gave you food and drink. When you were cold clothes. When you were poor, she gave from her wealth those things which were very dear to her. Even more, what she gave to you were not things that she had obtained easily, but she had secured through great hardship while engaging in wrongdoings and receiving ill input and suffering. So many parents have somewhere, somehow done like that. Sometimes they have to do wrong livelihood earnings just to feed their family, just to feed their children. Can you imagine when you plant vegetable, cause, there's so much bacteria, it may cause life, just to feed the children and feed the family, mother, do like that. These are some examples, you see. So in short, mother have committed, immense of negative karma just for the sake of taking care of our life. And the negative karmic consequence, she have to go through it, even though she committed in relation to us. So you see, so that much sacrifices, There are so many mother sentient beings commit so much negative karma in relation to the protection of their children that they are being born in the hell realm and remain there for eons. Unbelievable, such thing like that. So if you suffer from illness, pain, and the threat of death, your mother made the choice from the depth of her heart that she would rather be sick than you be sick. She would rather be in pain than you be in pain. She would rather die than you die. By putting this feeling into action, she did what was needed to alleviate, these troubles. In short, complete one-pointedly how your mother provided helps and happiness and clear away harms and sufferings in the best of her knowledge and ability. So amazing. All this really happened in one or another way to all of us like that. Then by cultivating remembrance of your mother's kindness, you will not remember it just in words. Once you have given rise to such remembrance, recognize that other friends and relatives such as your father are your mothers, and cultivate the remembrance of their kindness. So similar way. Then do the same with the person towards whom you have neutral feeling. Once you have produced an attitude towards them with a similar to how you feel towards your friends, recognize that your enemies are your mothers and cultivate the remembrance of their kindness. When you have an attitude towards your enemy that is like the one you have towards your mother, recognize that all beings in the 10 directions are your mothers. Then gradually and with the increasing extensiveness, cultivate the remembrance of their kindness. So first so this is how to meditate. So this is a meditational guide. Okay, so now the third one is the cultivating the wish to repay your mother's kindness. So after first recognizing, remembering, now you cultivate the wishing to repay your kindness. So the Chandra Gomi's letter to student, it says, while you see that your relatives are engulfed in the oceans of side existence and are as if fallen into the pit of fire, there's nothing more shameful than to work for your own liberation, neglecting those whom you do not recognize due to the process of death and rebirth. So the rest of the sentient beings, mother sentient beings, you know, it is reality that all are in the silent existence, you know, within the six realms. Even in the human realm, those of the beings looks like they are more, there's, you know, some many are looks comfortable, but all are experiencing suffering of change, experiencing samsara. Even though many may not be experiencing suffering of pain, but whatever pleasure that they're experiencing also contaminated, and those are in Dharma understanding, those are also suffering. It's called a suffering of change. So therefore, any beings in the six realms, you know, they are all in the experience of oceans of suffering. It is similar like, you know, they are fallen into the pit of fire. So your position, you know, is out of that pit of fire, which is very similar, which can be understood that precious human rebirth that you have, where you made the Dharma, you have these tools or practices, you know, such as altruism. Then even while you have that, and you have all the capability to at least, you know, intentionally that you can relate the benefit of saving them, that if you don't do that, rather you focus your virtues only to self-liberation, self-nirvana peace, then this would be similar like, you know, similar like neglecting those whom you do not recognize due to the process of, so that would be like kind of, you know, shameless person, you know, very selfish and shameless person, you see. So in order to, in order for us to, you know, really to make sense to it, then especially, you know, those enemies and strangers, that you cannot have that kind of close feeling or really intense feeling working for their well-being, then you just, you know, educate yourself that why I have this kind of partial kind of attitude. I can do that. I can be so, you know, compassionate to my family members, but why not to other? Then you understand that it's due to the interruption of, you know, the process of death and rebirth. So during that process, you know, we kind of lost the memory of remembering that they are too being equal, you know, beneficial to you, as like how we cultivate before. So Lama Tsongkhapa says, these beings, your kind mothers, whom you do not recognize due to the process of death and rebirth, are suffering and have no refuge. There's nothing more shameful than to do your best to liberate yourself from self-existence, while considering these beings your mother, unimportant, and abandoning them. So that is the reasoning to, you know, wish to repay the all sentient beings' kindness. So you come to, you know, you train your mind up to the stage that, like what it says in Thiranada's praise of infinite qualities. Says, it is not my way to liberate myself while abandoning these beings, whose blind ignorance ruin their intelligence, and who are my fathers and children, and serving and lovingly helping me. Thinking this, I made aspirational prayer to liberate these protectorless beings. You know, so you come up to, you know, that kind of understanding. So then you dedicate your marriage, your life, everything, you know, to work for the well-being of the rest of the mother sentient beings. Furthermore, so this is the Viveka's heart of the middle way. It says, furthermore, like applying salt, you know, to the wounds of those who have been possessed by the madness of their affliction, I created suffering for those sick with the suffering. And now what else is there other than nirvana to repay the helps of those who in other lives? help me with the love and service. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, while knowing that all sentient beings have the relation to you as has been mother, like the present mother to you, then you're working only for your own well-being, including of the self-nirvana, that is not dedicated for the well-being of others. That is very much, this selfish attitude in generally is very much like adding, adding more suffering to the sentient being. It's not because of adding actual suffering on them, but because of you are delaying your enlightenment for the benefit of them, their enlightenment will be delayed, their liberation will be delayed. That's where their suffering will be prolonged. You see, in particularly of those many beings that who have a special karmic connection to you, their enlightenment is solely dependent on you. For them, until you enlighten, they cannot be enlightened. You see, so therefore, in the content of the Mayanic, the altruistic dharma or the practice, even pursuit of self-nirvana, and no question about, living in the life of self-cherishing, grasping attitude, neglecting the concern of the all well-beings of all beings is like very, very toxic, very harmful. You see, so we have to come up to that kind of understanding. Okay, then the actual, the tools to repay the kindness, which are the later, the practice of the three, of the seven, later four of the practice of the seven cause and effect, the practice of love, practice of compassion, practice of, the great resolve heart, and the practice of bodhichitta. So now this is the fourth one, the practice of love. So it says, the King of Concentration Sutra, it says, always offering to superior beings as many countless offerings as there are in the billions of land does not equal are portions of benefit of loving attitude. So that much benefit that the whole sentient will receive, even just a moment of cultivation of immeasurable love. Even in the portions, even in one portions of the moments of the attitude of love generating towards all sentient beings happiness is far more greater than making offering to the numberless past, present, future Buddhas from the countless Buddha's realm, even in the numberless of those offering to each of the Buddhas. So that one moment, one portion of that one moment of attitude of love is superior or most beneficial in accumulations of benefits for yourself and benefits to sentient being. The contribution that you bring for the happiness of numberless sentient beings, including yourself, that one moment attitude of love is surpassed like that. Then also the arrays of qualities in the Manjushri's Buddha realm. It says, in the northeast, in the land of the conquerors, Buddha's Varas, called decorated by the 1,000 universe, their living beings have a happiness which is like the bliss of a monk who experiences a cessation. If you generate loving attitude here in a Jambu Viva towards all living beings for merely a snap of the finger, the merit produced greatly surpass the merit gained by the keeping pure conduct there for 1 trillion years. Is there any need to mention a merit of abiding in the loving attitude both day and night? So this is amazing, isn't it? So which is one moment of attitude of love is trillions of years. Or one moment of attitude of cultivation attitude of love in the Jambu Viva in the southern universe. Southern universe where we are, due to the 6 different what do you call the come to 6 different what if elements, you can say elements, the on top of the 4 elements, then the drops and the channels that we carry in the human aggregates, which not other beings in other realms have a similar kind of all these complete 6 elements. Because of that, the Jambu Viva, the southern world human being, whatever meritorious practice you practice, it has a greater impact achieving its result. The result is so great that one moment of cultivation of love, the merit is equal to the fully ordained Sangha preserving pure moral conduct in trillions of lifetime in other realms, even in the Buddha's pure land, such as called the decorated by the 1,000 universe. Even you born there, you have the fully ordained Sangha vow. It's unbelievable merit, but then comparing what we ordinary people in the southern world, just cultivating one moment of love, is surpass the merit and the benefit. So that's what I'm saying. Then Nagarjuna's in Precious Garden states, to offer 300 small pots of food, even 3 times a day, does not equal a portions of merit of the fractions of an instant of love. Even if you are not liberated through love, you will attain 8 good qualities. Deities and humans will love you. They will also protect you. You will have joy and much physical pleasure. Poisons and weapons will not harm you. You will attain your aims effortlessly and be born in the world of Brahma. So that much benefits, amazing benefits. Then Lama Tsongkhapa says that if you have love, deities and humans will love you and will naturally, gravitate towards you. Moreover, the conquerors defeated Mara's armies with the power of love. So love is the supreme protector and so forth. Thus, although love is difficult to develop, you must strive to do so. It's unbelievable. See, so can you start to have this unconditional love to your mother, and as I mentioned at the beginning, if we're able to carry that attitude, as long as our awareness is there, relate the mother to all the goodness that you experience in your day-to-day life, then you generate love to mother that's the way how you repay, her kindness. That's how you accumulate so much merit and using her body, and she, naturally accumulates so much merit like that, you see. Then Lama Tsongkhapa says, in order to understand the cultivation of love, you must know the following topics. The object of love. What is the object of love? It's a living being who do not have the happiness. So a living being who do not have happiness is referring happiness without suffering. That is the happiness. So even, our present life's mother who don't have physical sickness, who is happy, that she's, that is not free from happiness. If she is not, liberated from the self-existence, and those sensual happiness are very much in the suffering of change. So that is in the contents of the genuine happiness and suffering, it is still suffering. You see, so if she is still carrying the samsaric contaminated aggregates, the product of her body and the mind is due to past karma and delusion, then that is samsara, that is suffering. So therefore, even how happy she looks, you still have to generate love. You still have to, she is still the object of your love. So therefore, the object of love is living beings who do not have happiness. Now the subject aspect are the thinking, thinking. Now, how nice it would be if beings were happy. May they be happy, and I will cause them to be happy. So this is such a nice heart. When you think like that, to your mother, the first person who receive benefit yourself, you will be so happy. I can think like that to my mother. Or if you can think like that to anybody, anybody, any animals, any people just pass by your window, I wish them be happy, may they be happy, I will cause them happiness. That's the most beautiful thing that you can see from your window, especially if you are in somewhere in your house is like passing so many people, instead of feel annoyed by them, their noise, and they're just like you generate love, you feel wow, giving every moment chance for you to generate love, instead of feel their annoying noises. So like that. And if some people, they don't like busy crowd, many crowd. So for the practitioner of love is the crowd is beautiful. The crowd is beautiful. So like that. Then the stages of the cultivation of love. The third one is as follows. First, cultivate love love towards your friend. Then cultivate love for person towards whom you have neutral feeling. Then the next, cultivate love towards your enemy. Then cultivate it gradually towards all beings. The way to cultivate love is as follows. Just as you have developed compassion once you have repeatedly thought about how living beings were made miserable by suffering, develop love by thinking repeatedly about how living beings lack all happiness, both contaminated and uncontaminated. When you become familiar with this, you will naturally wish for being to be happy. In addition, bring to mind various forms of happiness and then offer them to living beings. Various form of happiness. When you go and meet your mother, bring flower is a form of happiness, or whatever she likes. Maybe bring her for dinner, or if you are far away from her, give her a call, say, how much I love you, and you are so precious, and wow, amazing, just remind all the good things, This is in a different form of happiness that you relate to her. If the parent is not with us physically, then you dedicate the merit in the name of the parent. Let's say, you offer light in the name of your parents. You go pilgrimage in the name of your parents. You do retreat in the name of your parents. You dedicate your life as a sangha in the name of your parents. You take Bodhisattva vow in the name of your parents. You take initiation in the name of parents. You offer service to your guru in the name of parents. You serve sentient being in the name of your parents. So all these are the different form of love that you are presenting to your parents. And you can do that first to your mother, then father, then rest of the sentient being. You know? Okay, so now the cultivation of compassion. Kamala, she says, stages of the meditation, it says, when you spontaneously feel compassion with such a subjective wish to completely eliminate the suffering of all beings, just like the mother's wish to remove her dear child's unhappiness, then your compassion is complete, and it is therefore called great compassion. So this is the very much like definition, that of compassion that you develop. Then Kamala Shila also says that from the same text that when you have committed yourself to being a guide for all living beings by conditioning yourself to great compassion, you effortlessly generate the spirit of enlightenment, which has the nature of aspiration to unexcel perfect enlightenment. Then Lama Tsongkhapa said in Lamrim that in order to understand the cultivation of compassion, you must know the following topic. The object of compassion is living beings who experience misery through any of the three kinds of suffering: suffering of change, pervasive suffering. The subjective aspects are thinking how nice it would be if living beings were free from suffering. Now the love is abide them into happiness, wish them to be happy. Compassion is wish sentient being to be free from suffering. So it's like a one coin in the two side, same coin, two sides of the same coin, like that. So when you develop compassion, indirectly you're developing love. When you develop love, indirectly developing compassion. But it is extremely beneficial to develop, separately by focused practice. Then how nice it would be if living beings were free from suffering. May they be free from suffering, and I will cause them to be free from suffering. The step of cultivation compassions are first to cultivate towards friends, then towards those beings for whom you have a natural feeling, then towards enemies. When you have equal compassion for your enemies and friends, cultivate it gradually towards all living beings in the 10 directions. Now the last one. The cultivation of wholehearted resolve. Wholehearted resolve, the definition, if you are using the Great Lamrim, the translation text, 3 volumes, then it is, the definition is on the page 33. The actual, the teaching of this particular title is on page 47. So this is talking about volume 2. So the definition says, in the sutra, the cautions of Sagarmatha Sutra, it says, suppose so Buddha says, suppose Sagarmati, the householder or the merchant, had only one son, and this son was attractive, beloved, appealing, and pleasing. Suppose that because the son was young and playful, he fell into a pit of filth. When his mother and relative noticed that he had fallen into it, they cried out, lament, and grieve, but they did not enter the pit and take him out. When the boy's father arrived and saw that his son has fallen into a pit of filth, however, his only thought was to save him, and without revulsion, jump into the pit of the filth and pull him out. Until you develop the cultivation of wholehearted reserve, which is number 6 from the 7 causes and effect to develop bodhichitta, is very much, even developing compassion, developing love, all the earlier practice is very much like not all the uncles will do that, but an example, when you're in difficult, like among some friends, like true friends and not so true friends, when you're in trouble, they don't really, come and help you. But some true friends, they are really, like, when you are in trouble, they are present in front of you and help you. So in generally, the father has that kind of, take responsibility by himself alone to really really to save his son whenever he's in trouble. But other family, may not be able to do that, that kind of intensity. So wholehearted reserve, when you develop that, then by myself alone, without relying on anyone else to take the responsibility to elevate entire numberless sentient being from the oceans of samsaric suffering and abide them in the state of full enlightenment, not just temporary happiness, all the way up to the state of full enlightenment. So taking that commitment is the whole reserve heart. So once you develop that, then you develop the result, bodhichitta. Okay, I think I already took some of your extra time. I better stop here. Then maybe the next session we can go through a bit of textual teaching on the 4-point self-exchange with other. Then after that, then we can get into the actual Bodhisattva vows. Thank you so much. And also, I think Venerable Dundu will announce to you all that I have to request to change the coming the 3 more teachings on this, 3 or 4 more teachings on this subject, because of just last minute decision, to travel back to Nepal. In Kopan, there's oral transmission of the Chizun Chogi Janzen's, the Geshe study, Seraje's root texts, giving oral transmissions of that. So that is quite rare, and yes, and also is offered by one of very respected teacher, like kind of hidden yogi, Geshe Tupten Rinjin from Serame. It's unbelievable, precious teacher. So, yeah, so I have to go. So, and once get in Nepal, and sometime, our teaching programs can go on whole day. I don't know exactly at the moment. I didn't see the schedule, but usually it goes like that. Then also I have no idea how good the internet, where I'm staying, so I better, request to change the date, and Venerable Dundu reply, they, will change it. So we very much confirm to do in June. So in June,
the first 4 Thursday nights in June, same time, 7 to 8:30.
Yes. So see you then. And I'm so sorry for the changing of the date. So thank you so much.
Since we're taking a break, may we do the Thanksgiving Mandala?
Okay. Yes. Then we do also short dedication. Yeah. So maybe we do short, we do the mandala. Then after that, short dedication.
This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. May my venerable Lama's life be firm, his white divine actions spread in the 10 directions. May the torch of the teachings of Losang always remain, dispelling the darkness of all beings in the 3 realms. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamyata.
So we dedicate whatever merit we accumulate from this course and also the earlier courses, all the merit they accumulated by each and individual in the past, in the present, and going to accumulate in the future, and also by rejoicing all the merits of the past, present, future Buddhas, gurus, and sentient beings. May this collective merit be a complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering and actualize from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. This war between Ukraine and Russia be end immediately, instantly. May the pandemics to be overcome. May all the other natural disasters that are happening or the diseases that are happening, all to be overcome. May this collective merit be a complete cause, all the antidotes for all those negative, such as peace and virtues and the practices of the Dharma, etc., be most effective and bring the world and individuals world into peace and happiness. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the world leaders of the organizations, and who lead the family, yourself who lead your life, be free from the emotions and fill the heart with altruism and the wisdom of emptiness, so that anyone under their leadership can able to enjoy only peace, happiness, and virtue. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the beings who pass away, in particular the last 49 days, be free from suffering of death, suffering in the immediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize rebirth in Buddha's pure realm. And within that very lifetime, they actualize state of full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the good people in this world, like such as Shisonas Dalai Lama, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself, your family members, always enjoy good health, a long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the virtuous institutions like monasteries and nunneries and all the Dharma centers, and especially to them, be free from inner outer severe obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the virtues and Dharma in most extensive learning, as well as actualizing all the realization on the stages of path economy. May this collective merit be a complete cause. May we too able to practice like all those past our gurus, past masters, our living gurus, and all the Gautama master, all the independents, like Shantideva, and all the past Bodhisattva of those development of bodhichitta, using those 7 cause and effect, like what we discussed in the teaching, able to realize them without delay. Then we understand that ourselves, the merit, the purpose that we dedicate, all lies in the nature of emptiness, in interdependent arising. So whatever there's any individual dedications that you wish to do, please do so. I will recite the short dedication prayers. Jawade Nudo Lama Sanja Dubjana Doachi Maloba de Sala, Gobara, Show, Chanjo Simjuran Butcher Majapan, Jawani Bomba, Konekondo Pavacha, Tony Tower, Butcher Majapan, Jawani Bomba, Konekondo Pavacha, Tower, Butcher Majapan, Jawani Bomba, Konekondo Pavacha Show. Career evacuation of dependent management managers, what did the Gato Shabbat about the 10 years to Jango Javet, the Job, Kuzo, chosen Limited to Bata, so the Jibondo Shab then show to Zunam Kuzer of the Navatella to Jamada was a temperature, Sazum, to Maseta to Jeju, and Javagundo Yandala, Tamichi, Palamon, Sadalam, thereafter to Janji Gomba, and you do show a Jabba, that you do somebody. The Dagunji Zodalogy Jawad, Adam Gerado, the Javan, the war, Malajudong about Daji Javet, so the Sambo Chirabdo, Warai, Pamasunja, and the Eugene Rodan, Chanjo Sabagana, Sojoba, the Dagunji Monam, to you, Simson, never change when you don't tell you to the Ven and Malapado Juma, Mebarai show. From the end of the danger of Rajamanda was in the Javala child, just was the title of the openness of the damage, the title of the openness of the damage, the title of the openness of the damage, and the danger of Rajamanda was in more than one of the Javala Chazal. Major Zajavajala, the tender one with them, Dajalasa, and the movement they would do your Jenny Monday and send it in Yimego and the legend in the of the left. Could you some you touch your bed and to me go be but the Sinjara of the Samba Church and do that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tujeche, and please take good care. You will be in my thoughts and prayers in Nepal when I see my precious Guru, all the precious Sanghas, and also if I visit holy places. So each and every one of you will be in my prayers. I will take you along in my pocket. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.